we go. We are live from Hamilton in North Carolina. Coffee time with him. No, him. Ryzak.
Yep.
And me.
Yep.
Jeff, welcome. Ryzak. Happy Saturday,
Yep.
sir.
Hey, buddy. How are you?
Living the dream, my friend. Living the dream.
I'm just glad that you got up early on a Saturday morning for me. It really makes me feel special to know that you take yourself out of bed, you get yourself put together, you
shower.
You even make yourself a cup of coffee.
Right here.
Right?
Look at that.
Look,
right here. Raymond.
flask.
There's coffee in here, Raymond.
And
Raymond,
I have mine here.
I went with the bigger cup. I went with the bigger one because I drink a lot. So
I got to give a shout out to my wife, for stashing the Mr. Cup. It's just a sloth. It's a Christmas sloth. My wife is obsessed with sloths. So Mr. Cup for the win. She's got the Mrs. Cup somewhere. So yeah. Anyway.
The Mr. Oh, aren't you a cute little cup of course?
Some days. Other days she wants to rip my head off. We said something this past week where we, sometimes we bicker. We work together at home or with each other all the time. It's natural, right? It's natural to have those little bickers. But this week something happened and she was upset and she was having a little bit of a time. I looked at her and said, "What do you choose?" She said, "I choose love." So that is our thing. Now when we look at each other, when we get mad, we say, "I choose love. I choose love." That's all we're going to do. There you go.
Wait till she chooses Paulo, the pool boy. Then you need to.
It's when I'm asleep that I got to worry about her choosing the knife.
Exactly. I choose.
Jeff, do you ever remember hearing about Lorena Bobbitt?
Of course.
Okay, so Lorena Bobbitt, that whole incident happened in my old hometown.
Nice.
So Fairfax County, Virginia, Northern Virginia. In Fairfax, Virginia. Lorena Bobbitt dismembered her.
We know. We don't have to relive it.
Her friend.
We don't have to.
It was crazy going through that because I think I want to say I was in middle school, right? So like it put this new fear in me, like girls can do that? Like they can chop it off. Like I'm gonna be extra well behaved. And then I had a friend of mine.
Purple wanted to know if you knew the other guy. If you knew the guy.
I did not know John. No, I didn't know either of them, right? They just happened to be there. But a girl that I graduated with, she did nails at the Belladonna at Manchester Lake Shopping Center. That's what it was. So, look, I'm throwing all this out. You can fact check me, okay? Belladonna Nail Salon at Manchester Lake Shopping Center, and a girl that I graduated with worked right beside Lorena Bobbitt. And so my first question was, are you afraid like she's going to chop your fingers off or something? Like, what is it? Nope, said she was very nice. So that's all I know about it. I'm glad that now you know what I know.
That is true. All right. So what are we talking about today? Oh, we have some adequate topics today, folks. We have some adequate topics today. That will be me. So we're going to talk a little Aaron Rodgers, XFL, NBA, Daytona. And we're going to roll the dice. And then we've got a good and a bad story. Did you hear about? And then, oh my God, I got to do 5 guesses. I'm scared. Mine were easy. You just had to pick stadiums. God only knows.
Purple's probably looking at this like, look, guys, I go through meetings all week long. I didn't need you to give me the agenda at the beginning. It's all right, though. We're trying to be organized around here. It keeps us going, We can get off topic very quickly.
We can. We can.
Jesus. They're just sitting there like, yeah, Jeff, and so a squirrel.
Yeah. So, would you go away for a weekend by yourself and meditate?
I would. I definitely would. But Aaron Rodgers appears to have done that, and now he has come back, yes? Mm-hmm. So the owner of the facility that Aaron Rodgers went to came out and said that he had left the site after 2 days. Mm-hmm. This is a tranquil, remote location in Oregon. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I have an uncle that lives he lives like right there on the Oregon and Washington border on one of the mountains right there, and he sends pictures to us all the time of it's just like so peaceful, right? Like he has moose that just come up to his house, deer, elk, the whole nine.
You'll get that when you go to
Wolves, bears, you name it. So
Yeah.
tranquil place. I don't know if I could go for a week though, Jeff. Could you go for a week?
Probably.
Yeah. Now this isn't just
I never heard about
isolation. This
food.
was pitch black.
Yeah.
This is pitch black, no
Yeah.
sound, no nothing, and
Yeah.
it's not for the whole time. It's for periods at a
Oh,
time.
I thought it was the whole time because I
So
was wondering how the hell does he eat?
Yeah, I think you go in for like hour or two sessions, and then you come out, you recharge, and then you go back in. I think that's how it works. And I have another slide that'll show the place. If anybody wants to look into it, we'll show that. But let's talk about the football aspect of this, right? Because he is, he just signed a big 3-year contract last year, $150+ million, right?
Yep.
You can see on the screen here, he's on the hook for almost $60 million next year by himself.
Yeah.
Is he worth it? What did he do for you last year to cause all of that stink in the offseason and, go out and play mediocre? Now, he did have mediocre talent around him, right? But he's Aaron Rodgers. He's supposed to be Mr. Discount Double Check. He should be able to do this, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think he'll be on. I think he'll be I think he's going to go to the Jets. I think because that is best practice.
Most of the rumors
when you're done in Green Bay as a quarterback, you go to the Jets. That is best practice. That is the history. So that is what you do.
Aaron is.
Well, let me put it this way: one of the quarterbacks that is currently on Green Bay's roster will be on the Jets roster next year.
Oh, so Jordan Love,
if not him, it'll be because Jordan Love isn't going to stay.
Yeah,
he's
been in the league what now? 3 years? 4 years?
4 years.
4 years now, right? To back up,
and they're not taking on his 5th-year option. So they're not taking on his 5th-year option. So he'll be if Aaron leaves,
Aaron
then
was smart.
Stay.
Aaron, he's what 38 years old, I think, Jeff. He negotiates this $150 million contract with his agent. After all the hoopla, the COVID incident, and the offseason circus year after year, where am I playing? Where am I going? That third bullet point makes my stomach churn.
Mm-hmm.
If they trade him away, there's $40 million in dead money.
But we can work that out. There's
I
ways.
get it. There's magicians that do that stuff, man. But to see that number,
the teams all have a guy that's his or her job is just to figure this shit out and know the loopholes and convert it to guaranteed money and this and that. Because people tweet me all the time. Oh, look at Dak and his. Oh, look at Zeke and his. Yeah, but you can roll that around. You can every day. You read the head. I'm like, oh, look what this guy's doing. You mean you can redo your contract to free up caps? You can do that, you haters. Yeah.
You don't pay attention to as much in soccer, but it's almost the equivalent of the transfer fee, right? Like how the transfer fees get moved around, and these clubs pay tens of millions of dollars just for the right to be able to sign somebody. So this dead money is kind of like that. It's stuff that just has to happen in order for them to do what they do. Obviously, NFL makes more and more money every year. These salaries get bigger and bigger every year. I know Lamar Jackson just said, he wants a new contract, but he doesn't want anything less than what was guaranteed to Deshaun Watson. And I believe that he rightfully has earned that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But
some people will disagree with that. But
Baltimore will definitely disagree with that, right? You've been hurt the past 2 years.
Yeah.
So
all right, let's see the place.
SPG.
Let's see where we're going.
Sky Cave Retreats. This is up in Oregon. This is from their webpage here. They've got a little statement on their darkness therapy, the practice of going into complete darkness for extended periods of time. So the extended periods of time remains to be seen. I don't think he's in there for the whole time. I think they have to.
Well, I guess we'll find out on Tuesday when he goes on McAfee's show and explains himself.
I'll definitely have to check that out.
Pat will have him. Pat has
I like Pat.
So, love Pat. Yeah, love
all right, well, there it is.
There we go.
We got up XFL.
Yeah.
You're big on the XFL right now, Jeff. You are.
I'm loving the XFL.
Enjoying it.
I am loving the XFL.
Good. I
I am
think
loving
that
it. It
from
is
what
some
I've
good
watched so
football.
far, it's been entertaining. It's been competitive, which is always important. And I love I love some of the new rules. To be quite honest with you, I love the kickoff thing.
Mhm. So let's talk about point number three. You've got the scores from the game the other night, and you've
Yep.
got last week's score. So 3 minutes left, and I tweet, "Oh, I'm 2-0. I'm about to go 3-0. My predictions they're up 18-3." And then what does he do? They march down and they score, and they're six. I'm like, uh-oh. Then they
Yep.
go for the 3-point conversion.
Yep.
Now it's nine, and I'm like, oh crap. All right,
Yep.
well they got to kick off. Oh right, oh XFL, you don't have to try an onside kick. You can
Yep.
do fourth and
Fourth and
15
15.
from the 25, and what do? They complete it. I'm like, oh.
AJ McCarron, man.
I'm like, are you shitting me? And then
You
they
know,
come down, of course, they
it's kind of shitty
score, and
because you
I'm
go
now
through a
two
whole
wins and one
game.
loss, and I'm like,
Yeah. You
somebody
go through a
commented on
whole
my
game,
tweet.
three plus quarters of action that's just back and forth, and then it just changes like that.
Someone commented on my tweet, "Did you jinx it?" And I'm like, oh, holy crap.
As a fan, Jeff, as somebody that's watched a lot of football in your life, you've watched a lot of games where your
Yeah,
emotions have been up and
yeah,
down. Was
yeah,
that some of the most exciting football that you've watched?
yes, yes, yep, yep.
I love the kickoff aspect because
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's me getting older and me being a parent now and everything, but we just hear too much about these football players with CTE, and
Mm-hmm.
look at some of their careers afterwards, and some of the chaos, some of the early
Mm-hmm.
deaths. Like,
Yep,
I'm not a scientist and I don't have the knowledge to sit there and push any of that data, but
yeah,
I just feel like as I get older, I hear and see more and more of this. So the fact that that was put in for player safety, yet you still get the same result. You still get a 10-yard return, 15-yard return. And if you break that, then that is definitely some skill and some good blocking, right? But you don't
yeah,
have any more this
yeah,
80-mile-an-hour semi truck running down the field and smashing into a brick wall.
yeah. Shout out to my boy Ben DiNucci, former Dallas Cowboy, leading the league after week one in passing.
Yeah.
AJ McCarron, who had a great college career, but just couldn't quite knack the NFL. Now, killing it on the field and in his post game press conferences. I have to say. Yeah, yeah, I was
Yeah.
not real happy. And then, of course, I picked Seattle to win. And as you can see on the screen, that did not happen. So I ended up as an even 2-2.
They have a tough team too, man. Jeff Haslett's their coach. Like they're a well coached team. This and that.
The Sea
Their
Dragons have the
quarterback has the
greatest
most touchdown
wide
passes.
receiver of all time,
Josh Gordon on their
Josh
team,
Gordon, who
right?
I did a fantasy draft, but it got messed up. So I had to do it Thursday. So we redid it Friday night, and I had Josh on. I had a better team on Thursday, but the site crashed, and so we had to redo it. So I lost both my good players.
Now you said you
And I
have to
didn't
pick
get
a whole
Josh Gordon,
defense, right?
but I did a second draft last Wednesday, and I got Josh Gordon. So I'm at least in one of my two leagues, I have Josh Gordon. Sorry.
I stepped on you there. Did you say you have to pick a whole defense for that? Like you said
You just
something
pick,
about
no,
picking
you just
offense.
pick,
Oh, it's
no, you just pick a defense. It's like the NFL.
But what were you
It's
telling me about the
non-IDP.
quarterback? Weren't you telling me something about the quarterback where you have to like pick a team's quarterback? So whoever comes in, you get those stats as well, right?
One of the two leagues, you pick the team's quarterback. The other league, you actually pick the player.
Okay. So you can have different settings in the XFL.
In this fantasy draft league that I'm in, apparently, I never looked at the options for setting up a draft because I went in their Discord and I said, hey, I'm looking for a team, and some guy messaged me and said, hey, we're doing one. Here's the link. I'm like, awesome.
Calling it right now. This league's not going anywhere.
I loved him on fantasy. He was one of my big fantasy go-tos. And on Thursday, before the site crashed, when I drafted him, I texted my producer and I said, hey, I drafted Josh Gordon in XFL Fantasy. And he's like, of course you did. because I
Well,
always had him in Madden when I used to play before it was broken,
yep.
and I used to always get him in fantasy, and he used to do great for me. So yeah,
That year that he came onto the scene with the Browns, I had picked him up in fantasy, and he was one of the reasons
yeah,
that I went so far that year
yeah,
because it was like every game was like 100
yeah,
yards and a touchdown, 100
yeah,
yards and a touchdown. So,
yeah,
and I
yeah.
want to say I'm probably wrong on this stat, but I want to say he had like his first 3 seasons 1,000 yards. Like he was one of the youngest to do it, or
Mm-hmm.
something at the time. There was something about it at the time that made
Yeah,
it special. And then,
he just had the demons.
well, weed's not a drug, right? It's a plant, grows. You light it on
Mm-hmm.
fire, it has some effects.
Yeah,
Thank you,
well,
Cat Williams, for that.
well, there you go.
Well, hey, you mentioned AJ McCarron earlier, and I recently just purchased a year of ESPN Plus because I thought I was going to be able to watch the Hurricanes games, which I just found out they're blacked out. So I paid $100 for freaking nothing. Thank you, ESPN
Good.
Plus and
Send me your
Bally
username and password.
Sports and
Send me your
all that
username and
stupid
password so I
shit.
can watch the XFL
Oh my
games.
god. That
Not
blackout thing is stupid, man. It's so stupid. Like
the
you have never mind. I'm not even gonna go there. But I was watching the rewind, the recap of week 1 of the XFL on there. They do
yeah,
a really good show.
yeah,
I really believe that this league is going to be around for a while. I think the Rocket and the team that he's assembled have done some really, really cool things, right? So yeah, I don't disagree, Purple. You caught me off guard. I just looked at that out of the corner of my eye. Oh shit! All right. So anyway, but I'm watching this show, and it was going through all this stuff. It did an interview with like Hein Ward and followed Heinz Ward and the Brahmas because he's a
yeah,
first year coach, but he's a Super Bowl winning wide receiver. He's the man. He's teaching them some really good stuff when you listen to him. They get into AJ McCarron, and
yeah,
they're interviewing AJ McCarron after the game.
yeah,
And he starts to get a little emotional because the reporter asks him about his kid.
yeah.
And then next thing you know, his kids just come running up to him and he kind of loses it and he starts crying with them, telling them he loves them so much. Right. And so this little quote here, my 6-year-old loves watching tape of me on YouTube. That's a big reason I chose to return this way. I probably could have tried to come back with an NFL team and had a chance to probably make bigger money, but no one knows what the future holds. I'm enjoying this, and it's a great way to create some memories for me and my boys.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, as a dad and as somebody that tries to be as involved with my kids as possible, I love this.
Yep.
Like, this is great. This is now giving him an opportunity to continue to do what he loves,
Mm-hmm.
right? And
Mm-hmm.
when you hear the coaches talk about him, they say that he's not just a quarterback, he's not just a player, he's like one of the coaches. Like he has NFL experience. He's played for multiple teams. He won 2 national championships. He went to 3.
Yep.
AJ McCarron is a baller. Like he is
Yep.
a player, and
Yep.
he's able to bring that experience
Yep.
and expertise to a bunch of other guys. And the
Mm-hmm.
reason he's doing so is so that he can continue to be that dad that he wants to be and
Yep.
play.
Yep. Yep. I know. We're
You
both
said you
dads.
watched the interview too. Like, did you
I
did
did.
you get the same feeling?
I did. When my kids are now Big Ol' Mac's gonna be 20 next week, and or a week and a bit, and the other one's 22.
Yeah.
So and they don't remember. I always tried to make memories for them, and we didn't always. I didn't film everything as I do now. I wish I had.
Jeff, you did a
done that.
reality TV show.
Well, and I have videos of
And the
them.
boys were on it.
I know, but still, yeah, they hate that. But yeah, but that's
One day though, that is going to be a cool memory,
Yeah. Yeah.
for them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
that this is.
But yeah, I'm loving the XFL,
Yes.
and USFL is coming right on its heels. Again,
Yep.
I've done the business of on both the XFL and USFL. So if you don't know what we're talking about, go watch it.
Yeah. USFL
and-
starts too.
Yeah.
So we'll have to check in on that soon. I
It's
mean,
coming. It's coming. They just did a draft. HBCU Legacy Bowl is today. Everybody thinks the sports, the football ends when the Super Bowl ends. It doesn't. There's
arena football is coming back.
Arena football is coming back. So
And you have the Canadian Football League, which is nowhere near as popular,
It is up
the
here.
States, right?
It is up here.
There, yes, but we
It is up
can't get around some of the
Yeah.
rules because it's like,
Yeah.
You remember those little handheld devices, the game devices, and Tiger used to make the really good ones, and then there would be some other like no name brands that would come out and they just wouldn't work as good. So if you didn't have the Tiger one, that's kind of the mentality there. It's like
Yep.
with the kickoffs, with the end zone, with the goalposts, like the whole thing. It's just, and they can move before the snap, like run
True.
forward, and
Start
so there's
running
a
forward.
lot of
Yep.
different
Yep.
things.
Yep.
So
Got the bigger ball, bigger
we'll have
field.
to we'll have to
We'll
talk
dive
some
into
CFL
the
one
CFL.
day.
I'll get a CFL expert to come on and talk and talk to us about
What are we up to? What do we got next?
I think we're going NBA.
Oh my gosh, what an all-star weekend it was. Look at these pictures right here. Two of the bigger events ever, right? You've got a 3-point competition winner down there on the bottom left, Damian Lillard, right?
Yep. Yep.
And then you have who's that guy on the right? Mac McClung. Mac McClungadunga.
What a week he had. He was playing in the G League. Then he goes and plays a couple of games for Philly. Then he comes in and basically saved the All-Star weekend. I think he saved it. Because the game was the game. I watched the game. The game was the game.
I don't like the game anymore.
There was a lot of hate about the game. The 3-point contest was okay. Everybody was complaining about, there's none of the big stars in the slam dunk competition.
Oh yeah.
Some people, who are these guys in the slam? Never even heard of. Well, one of these guys nobody had ever heard of. So
I thought it was funny. Like watching it back, I went back and watched the tape, like of all of Mac's dunks in the contest, just to get myself a little bit more talking point while we were talking about this. And a couple of things stood out to me, right? 3 things. Number one, for a guy the size of him, the twist and the extension that he had were extremely impressive.
Mm-hmm.
And that is where that's what he was trying to showcase on his dunks. If you notice the one where he started off to the right side of the basket and he runs down along the baseline and he comes up and he kind of brings it behind him, but then he twists completely around and he's still able to come back and stuff it. And, you can just see the extension of him. I'm 6'4", right? So I have long arms, longer arms than most. Just that's, I've just always had my arms out and up, right? And watching him extend at his size, I was extremely impressed with his nimbleness. Now he's not new to the scene. He's been dunking for a while. He was having highlight reel dunks in college when he was playing for Georgetown, and then he transferred out of Georgetown. Him and Patrick Ewing, I guess, bumped heads or whatever. But he's a baller, man. But that was definitely cool to see, especially this one. The second thing that stood out to me was the reaction of the players.
Yes,
the players that were watching. Look at all these guys in that. Every single one of them had their phone out.
They did.
Every single one of them's mouth dropped to the floor when this little, let's call it what it is, little white dude, Mac McClung, was just like, he was like an one dunker out there or something. It was crazy.
Before that, he was probably walking around the dressing room, probably talking to nobody. They probably like, who are you? Who are you? We don't even know who you are. Go away.
Balding, like comb over thing.
Everybody was probably just ignoring him. He was probably just sitting there, just like, okay, who are all these? Look at all these stars, and then there's my little dumbass here. And then after that, everybody wanted him. So that was some of the best reactions. Was the players on the sidelines, and they had the Shaq cam, and you were talking about the twisting. They brought it up in the broadcast. They were saying, "Look, was that 540? Like, how was he spinning?" So they even on the live broadcast, they were chatting about that, right? So
it was impressive. Like I like seeing pictures of athletes in motion, where you can really see, like, if you look at the picture of him jumping right there, like you can see all that muscle definition behind the knee, in the calf. You can see the tris are flexed. Like he is in his element right there, about to, and his whole body is working, right? So that's great. The third thing that I wanted to point out was the reaction of the contestants. When he made that dunk I was talking about, he came along the baseline area from the right, and he twisted and he dunked. And as soon as he did it, he like did the throat slice thing, or like across the chest or whatever. And everybody's like, wow, this little kid is like running. Look at that little kid right there in Dame Lillard's picture, right? That little kid, he was like running out on the court, like high-fiving him, right? Everything. Everybody's got their hands over their mouth, and the guys that are competing are just like,
yeah, yep,
I don't know what I'm gonna do.
yeah, yep.
It was total
I
dominance,
forfeit.
man. It was
I
awesome.
forfeit.
It was awesome. So good
Nearly
all-star game.
50s on every dunk. I think one
Yeah.
dunk he got someone. One of them gave him a 49.
Yep.
But apart from that, it was 50s on every dunk.
Isaiah, Will, I mean, Neek, they were all loving it,
Yeah.
so it was great.
Yeah.
I saw, obviously 184 to 175. There's no way that's a true basketball game, which is evident because they don't play defense in the All-Star game.
Did you see last night's game?
Which one?
Last night's game. What was it? 176, 175. Somebody fact check me on that real quick.
No defense at all, or that went to multiple overtimes.
Kings and Clippers, 176, 175.
I didn't even check that one. How'd Russ do? It was after I went to bed.
I didn't look at the stats
because I think that was his first game last night with the Clippers. But
you got to remember, folks, on that screen over there, I have a sports ticker going. So when I
wake up, stuff all the time.
When I wake up, I look over there. There's the sports ticker. When I come into the man cave in the morning, I got, as you know, I got the TVs over there. Yep. I got the sport. I flick on the sports ticker, and I just saw the score go whipping by. So
I love what Purple said there. They should do professional dunkers. The dude that's got the blue hair. I can't think of his name right now, but like to get him and some other, that would be awesome. That's you're putting on a show now, right?
I saw some tweets. I saw some tweets after his dunk, and then like there were some tweets saying that's why LeBron and these others don't do the dunk competition because they don't want to get shown up by some unknown.
Yeah, his name is Jordan something. I can't think of the last name. But did you see the Joker after the game? Right, I wanted to just quickly talk about the game itself. It was just a shooting competition. That's all it was.
Yeah,
these guys were just like taking shots from inside a half court. Like, what does a guy like the Joker do? What do the big men do in a game like this? Why even bring me here was his thing because this isn't my type of game. This isn't what I play. So interesting. I wonder if something like that will change the way the game is played, or if that'll start to be.
The NFL got a lot of flack for their Pro Bowl and the lack of whatever. So, and this got a lot of flack again. So they may try to reinvent that. However, the league doesn't pick the winner. The organizing body doesn't pick the winner. Yeah, you can talk about the NFL scripting. But did you see NASCAR?
I saw NASCAR. Well, we're going to talk about that in a little bit.
Did you guys watch the end of the NASCAR race?
We're going to get there. We're
not there yet?
Ahead.
Oh, we're not. Oh, am I getting ahead? I was trying to. Oh, I forgot about this one.
No. We got a couple more NBA things. We'll get through them real quick.
This. Right? Yeah.
We'll get through them quick. We spent a lot of time there. So
I gotta pay more attention in the the production meeting. I gotta remember what was in the production meeting.
Thoughts on sports doubling down on the model of what's best for viewers is best for the sports, Jeff?
I'm a capitalist pig dog. I am pro-capitalist. I am pro big business.
Oh my gosh.
I am pro all of that stuff, and I am pro what's the word? I'm thoughts on sports doubling down on the model of what's best for viewers is best for the sport. So as long as it's entertaining, I found Mac McClung made the thing and made the skills competition entertaining. The basketball game wasn't entertaining. It was entertaining, but it wasn't entertaining. Like I had it on, but I found myself doing other things at the same time. Now I have 4 TVs, so I'm often watching and doing other things at the same time. But I think, like I said earlier, I think they got to reinvent it. But back to our boys at Front Office Sports. The NASCAR, they sell every inch of everything.
Right.
And most of the teams,
minor league baseball stadiums need to do the same thing, right? The outfield walls and the boards and all that.
You do.
Soccer does it.
Yep.
You don't see the team name on the chest of the soccer players. It's who their sponsor is.
Yep. So,
but there's only a handful of teams that don't have it, right?
There'll be 3 now that do not.
3. Okay.
3.
The Knicks are one of them.
there'll be three. Yeah, three who do not after the Knicks.
Okay.
So there are four right now. If the Knicks do it, there'll be three.
Okay.
But I can see by next year they'll all have one. Um, so you gotta. Yeah, it takes money to run these teams, and
Yep.
you gotta. If you got, you know, I don't know about when you guys watch games, but when we watch games, there are ads on the floors, and they're
Mhm.
superimposed by our networks,
Correct. Yeah,
right?
we they have that for the hockey games too.
Okay.
They'll show things on the walls that
Yeah.
aren't really there,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, because a
um,
few years ago I was with Big O Mac and we were watching. I guess it was during the Raptors' big run, and there was
mhm.
some stuff, and they're like, "Oh, look, they on the courts they got that ads," and I said, "No, that's superimposed on TV. It's chroma keyed in." And he didn't
Yeah,
believe me. And then look, they went out and changed the floorboards and put a different sponsor on now.
yeah.
And
Pro,
then they
pro,
went out and changed the floorboards.
product
Yeah,
placement and
they
and
do it in movies.
advertising
It's in
is
movies.
it's
If you're watching
everywhere.
a movie and the guy takes out a Coca-Cola can and has a sip,
Yeah.
that's product placement. It's everywhere,
What
right?
what's going to get me is if they start doing it in the middle of movies, and if they start doing it in the middle of video games. I've heard that rumor that they've talked about starting to sell time in video games to give advertisements. Think about High
Well, they
on
already
Life
they
that
already
was just
do.
out.
They already do, because look at some of the, look at Madden has, in their yard they have whatever, the
Yep.
chunky stadium. Well, think EA just went, oh, we'll put chunky in there. Are you okay with that, chunky? You don't have to give us anything for it. No, of course not, right? So
Yeah.
there's already, it may be subtle and you may not think about it, but they're already in games, they're already in
It is.
movies, they're everywhere.
Jeff, did you collect cards when you were a kid?
I did a little bit. I wasn't serious. I had some,
Hmm.
and I'll be honest. I wish I knew where they were. I don't know
Hmm.
what happened to them. A lot of stuff
Well,
once I moved out that just seemed to go missing at my parents' house.
I love baseball cards. I love basketball cards, football. Just the card trading.
Yeah,
We had a
yeah,
card trading store up the road from our school, so me and my friends would bike up there and take
hmm,
our cards, and we'd
yeah,
go to each other's house and trade.
yeah,
It
yeah,
was fun.
yeah.
So I haven't done it in a while. I don't know much about it, but you had brought this one up to me, and I was fascinated by it. Sabrina I'm going to say it wrong. Ionesco.
Mm-hmm.
Um, she was a University of Oregon product. She's one of the most hyped female basketball players, in the past probably 20, 30, 40 years, right? Like, she's phenomenal. Paige Buchers is another one at
Hmm.
UConn that gets kind of the same hype,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
Sabrina is a baller, and they just had her rookie card come back at appraisal over 10 grand.
yeah.
Like, it's a huge deal. It is like, I mean, look at the rating on that thing. It's one of the, what does it say? It's one of the rarest pieces ever made with 5 copies in existence. So I thought this was fascinating because as a father of a young lady that's playing sports, and
Hmm.
with all the conversation, about men's and women's equal pay and everything, we talked about that last week, right?
Hmm.
So cool to see that there is now stated value on something like this, like a sports trading card that is surpassed what some of the men have even achieved. So I think this is so freaking cool, man.
I did a business of last year on the NIL, name, image, and likeness. And Purple, who's in our chat, was in that chat, and she was asking my expert I had on about NIL for women, and he thought the market for women was just because they're young, they're mostly attractive, they're athletic, and they can sell stuff. And he thought
Yes.
on the NIL market, women will do much better than men. So I certainly can see that, because they don't make that many cards. How many cards do
Right.
they make? They're going to start making more now that this happened. And this happened with video games. We've talked about it on Retro Rewind about video games and how they do this. So I think this is just the beginning. I'd love to know what Purple thinks of this.
What is the most
But
popular female sport, American sport or sports player that you know of, Jeff? Being Canadian, who is the most popular female
I can
athlete
tell you,
from the US that you know? No
I can
idea? What about team? What about sport?
I'm going to say soccer, and the most
Okay.
popular soccer athlete, and I don't remember her name, was the one who ripped off her shirt and just was down in her sports
Brandy
bra.
Chastain.
Yeah, I'm going to go
So
that one because that's all
that's
I remember.
no, that
Um,
and that's cool because that when I if you would ask me a question about something like that, I'd only be able to give you, one or two. Perp says Serena. Serena is a phenomenal athlete. She is one of the most decorated female
mhm,
athletes, if not the most decorated female athlete of all time.
mhm,
Just the length of her dominance. I mean,
yeah,
we're talking a 20-year plus career of
yeah,
her,
yeah,
being at the top
at
of
a
her
high level.
game,
Yep.
coming back from pregnancy and being great, etc. But
Mhm,
this is women's basketball. This
mhm,
is something that's laughed about on social media. This is something that is ridiculed and belittled. However, a
I have watched.
female basketball player is the one on that card. It's awesome.
I watch women's college basketball and the WNBA, and I've tweeted. I've had it on one of my screens where I've been,
Yeah.
when you see videos, pictures from the man cave. I've got, I watch, I watch, and I do a bracket for women's March Madness. So
Look, man, I'm never going to talk smack about women playing sports because
you have one.
99% of them could kick my ass right now.
Oh,
So I ain't worried
100% of them
about
can
it.
kick my ass.
The only one that can't beat me in basketball right now is Purple Haze. You heard it. I said it. I'm just playing.
Oh,
She'd probably dunk on me.
that would be a very adequate game. You versus.
All
I
right,
don't know how I
quick.
don't know how tall she is. You might have the height advantage.
I know.
I don't, but I don't know
I
how
don't
tall
know.
she is. I only ever see her sitting down, so I've never.
She. I don't know. I told you I talked with her backstage that time, Jeff, and
Yeah.
I think that she would just. I think she would intimidate me too much. I think I would just here check ball. You just keep it. It's fine. Go ahead. Hey, this is a topic that's important to me, but it's a controversial one, and we can get twisted on it. I bring it up because I only want to ask you, Jeff
Uh-oh.
Janak, and
Uh-oh.
you, Miss Purple Haze.
Uh-oh.
I saw this tweet the other day. It says now it's all blown up, but it says, "Is this a fair way to look at this conversation or the
Mhm.
NBA GOAT conversation? The
Yeah.
best of the '70s era is Kareem. The
Yeah.
best of the '80s,
Yeah.
'90s era is Jordan, and the best of the 2000s is LeBron." Is that a fair assessment, or does there need to just only be one GOAT?
I think this is a fair assessment. I've actually talked with Crow Resin. I know he's asleep because it's too early in the morning for Crow Resin. Him and I've talked about this. Jordan is his goat
Mhm.
only because that's what he knows. That's what he's seen.
Mhm.
Right?
Yeah.
Younger people, like my producer or Biggle Mac, they only know guys like LeBron. And they know some of the older football guys because we're more of a football family. So,
Right.
and they've been watching football with me since they came out of the womb. So they know a lot of the older football guys, but NBA wise, they do not. Um, I've been around since the '70s, so Kareem, he just lost the scoring title. I've always been a big Larry Bird fan, back in the day. So I don't think there can be one. I think there has to be. You have to look at a generational.
You put in a comment up here. I
And,
like
and,
what
and
Purple's saying right there.
since when only the last few years we've been talking about goats. We never talked about it
No.
before. We didn't talk about
No.
goats 5 years ago. It's only in the
Well,
last few years we've been now starting talking about goats.
statistics do that for us, though. They set benchmarks for us to surpass, and when those things are surpassed, then conversations are started. I am of the belief that, if you want to get into a GOAT conversation, the greatest of all time, one singular person is Kareem. In my opinion, hands down, it's Kareem because of the body of his entire basketball career. I'm not talking just
Correct.
NBA. I'm
Correct.
talking about all of it, right?
Correct.
Kareem was the man, dude. Kareem,
You mentioned you've mentioned to me Bill Russell.
yeah.
Because
Well, and that's what I was going to say next. It depends on
yeah,
what is the criteria
yeah,
for the GOAT, right? Because if it's
correct.
championships, it's Bill Russell,
Hmm. Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
If it's impact to the game, right? The impact to the game could be Jordan. It could also be Shaquille O'Neal because they had to change the entire basketball rim He was destroying them. They had
Yeah.
to redo the equipment because Shaq was so big. Like,
Yeah.
what is our criteria? If it's all around game, everybody says Magic Johnson. Why can't it be LeBron? LeBron has passed Magic in every category.
James
So
Harden has the best beard. He's the goat of beards.
exactly. It could be James Harden. Like you could make it for I mean, my favorite basketball player of all time is Charles Barkley. I could make an
Oh,
argument for Charles Barkley to be the greatest basketball player of all time.
he's not even the greatest commentator of all time
Oh my
and
god, I
he's not even
love
the greatest
Charles, man.
commentator on that on of those four that are sitting there every week.
Well, my favorite player right now is Luka Doncic, right? And
Of course.
we had a conversation about him and Kyrie after the trade, and I brought up to you I was concerned with how they were going to coexist. I know that Kyrie can coexist with other stars. I know he can. I don't think Luka has ever played with somebody of the talent caliber of a Kyrie, but my concern is that Luka is ball dominant and Kyrie is ball dominant. And how do you play two ball dominant people on the floor at the same time? Kyrie's going to have to adjust into more of a shooting role when he's on the floor with Luka, which he did when he was on the floor with LeBron. So he understands it. But is he going to buy into it? And Purple has Kyrie is toxic. Kyrie's got some things going on. Is his mindset on trying to win a championship? I want to be shown that he is ready. And so after the first game, the numbers don't look bad, right? They look like I would love to see the field goal percentage here and this and that. But the one stat that matters here is that they're 0-1 together. So I want to see some more happen here.
I think before Kyrie signed, like Purple said, I think Cubes went to him and said, "Look, this is the goal. Smarten up."
Yeah.
I think the Cubes sat him down and said, "Look, we can win a championship with you," just like he said, or like Purple said. Excuse me. So yeah, I think before he signed, I think the Cubes got involved.
I love trying to get a star to help Luka, right? You've got to have that person when Luka's off the floor, who's going to take over, right? You got to have that person. I just don't know that person was Kyrie.
I would be concerned for Luka and I have to check with my friend Joel, who's the expert on all things contracts. What's in his contract about being the scoring leader? Is there when he's used to scoring 40 points a game to lead the team? Me. But now if he's only getting 30 points a game, what's tied to his contract, and could he lose some money, incentive dollars because of that? I don't know.
Kyrie's not the young buck anymore, right? He's a veteran. He's got a championship. He's done some things. So his career is it's a little longer established. I think Luka has established his career as a superstar. I mean, he's fourth year in the league. He's unbelievable. If he can keep his head on straight and he can stay in shape, I worry about his body because he's not the most chiseled dude, you know what I'm saying? But I hope this doesn't impact his growth.
He did a great episode of the Dude Perfect guys. Have you never seen his?
Yeah, I did.
With Dude Perfect, that was hilarious. Well, they're Dallas boys, right? So
my dream lineup is to see Luka and the Joker play together. I want to see the two of them on the same team, and I think you could put anybody in the world around those two, and that team would win the NBA championship. So,
but they're playing.
Just my opinion.
Is it all offense? Probably, yes.
Hey, here's your.
No, there we go. I jumped ahead. I paid more attention.
You're okay. How do you choose at what point the accident happened?
Correct.
Is it when the wheels start spinning? Is it when the contact is made? Is it
when they hit the button to say when the yellow? Because you saw on the clip, right? You saw the yellow thing come up, right? Is it when the guy hit at what point? Even in the middle of a race, there's an accident, and it's like, okay, is the yellow flag going to come out? What? Okay. Oh, now the yellow flag is out. Okay, so they have to evaluate the situation to see, is it, or did the guy just blow a tire and he skidded off in the end? And they don't need necessarily a yellow flag. They can keep going because there's no debris. There's no, he had car trouble. He pulled off to the side and he got off. And
What
whatever.
what
Right?
happened to the days of not being able to finish a race under caution or under, anything other than green, and
Yeah.
even still just
Yeah.
racing the people that are left? You know what? Everybody else crashed behind them, so you
Yeah.
run those 3, 4 cars that survived,
Yeah.
and you run them out there for a lap or two. That was wild, man, and it had a huge impact on the Cup standings because you can see there on the right. It's 4 points separates those three, the top
Yeah.
three now. So Ricky
Yeah.
Stenhouse Jr. getting that win
Yeah.
really, really, really helped him out. So, and to points we've talked about before, is this all driven to just set up a big showdown at the end? Like, you
Yeah.
got to love the drama of sports.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mr.
No, I
Rock, I
know.
see you. Hi.
Yeah.
Good morning or
Going back to
afternoon.
the last topic, we were talking about goats. I am very firm in my goat discussion.
Uh-huh.
There is one goat in the entire world in everything.
Jerry Jones.
Joey Chestnut. He's got
Oh my
17 world
gosh.
championships.
Joey Chestnut
And
didn't
then
win
last one,
the
he
first
was
time.
fighting a guy while he was in the middle of. Can you see Brady fighting a
Hey.
guy in the middle of a game? This guy's fighting a guy and still winning. So whenever there's a GOAT discussion, there is only one GOAT.
Who was the other guy that challenged him for a long time? Kobayashi.
Yeah, the Japanese. Yeah,
He actually won in the
he
beginning
won.
before
He
Chestnut
did.
took it over, and then he's been
He did.
lights out since, right? Like,
Yeah. So anyways, back to
how do you introduce that to your parents? Like, hey, mom, this is Joey. Oh, Joey, what do you do for a living? I stuff hot dogs down my throat.
Yep.
I eat a lot of hot dogs every day. I train hard.
Correct. So, anyways,
oh Jesus! All right,
so
here
anyways,
we go. Daytona 500.
Daytona 500. It is going to be a good season. And it's funny because Ray, shout out to the Cyborg Ray Sarad. We were talking about it before, and I said, who do you got? And I think he picked Harvick, who's retiring at the end of this season, which is going to be sad. But I said, he goes, what about you? I said, I'm going to go Joey Logano. He's the defending champion. And I was like within a hair of actually being. I tweeted Ray out and I said I was a hair within winning, but NASCAR decided to pick the other guy, not my guy. But
I believe that Logano still races for Gibbs Racing. Maybe he doesn't, but I know that when he first came on, he was with Gibbs Racing. That would be Super Bowl coach Joe Gibbs, Jeff, of the Washington Redskins, one of the greatest football franchises in the history of the NFL until the Snyder era.
I'm a Hendricks Motorsports guy.
That's fine.
Sorry, I'm a Hendricks guy. I'm a Hendricks guy. Sorry.
Hey, let's talk some video games. We got some DICE Awards coming up soon. Not a lot of people talk about the DICE Awards. I love the DICE Awards. I think it's a great time for the industry to get together and recognize some achievements other than just Game of the Year and the normal ones. They're in there, right? But there's some cool ones in here. So Greg Miller and Stella Chang. I think it's Chung, but she's with IGN there. So they are hosting the event, and we've got every single nomination to run through here. But we're only going to stick on a few of them because there's like 23 or 24. So, outstanding achievement in animation, all those names of those folks that worked on those games. I mean, just probably such a cool experience for them to be a part of this awards show, right? Call of Duty in there. You're going to see a lot of God of War, a lot of Horizon Forbidden West through here. Those two games, the three games are dominating. God of War Ragnarok gets 2 characters in this section with Kratos, right? Just original music. You've got audio design, which I would be interested to understand what the difference is between original music and audio design, just like the sound effects and
I would think so. Yeah. And then obviously
and then this is like the score, like the actual music, right?
Exactly. Yeah. I believe so.
You've got outstanding achievement in story.
I think Stray should be in here, but that's just me.
I think this is going to be a tough one right here because I think a lot of people will point to God of War instantly, right? But this immortality game, if you don't know much about it, check it out. It's interesting. I haven't played it. I just watched a little video on it. It's interesting looking. I might
Yep.
have to check it out after going through this with you, because it's actually going to show up at the end, which piqued my interest. Technical achievements, cool. All right, action game of the year. Give me something. What do you think?
I haven't played any of these. I've seen some people play Grounded. I don't know if I've seen
Mhm.
anyone play the other games.
Sifu is or Sifu. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. It is like a martial arts that the animation or the visual of that one's really cool. But Vampire Survivors is one that really blew up this past, like, I don't know, 10 months, 8 months, 10 months, something like that.
Yeah.
It was on Game Pass, and then next thing you know, it was on mobile, and I mean, it was just everywhere, and everybody was playing it. It was just a quick, easy game to get in and play for a while. So that one, I don't know if it's an action game, but that's an interesting one. Adventure game of the year. There you go again. God of War and Horizon Forbidden West, but there's Stray. You talked about Stray earlier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I'm halfway through it. I need to get back to it.
Tunic there also got a lot of love from some folks. I don't know much about Norco, so
I'm a very limited gamer, folks. So I only have 2 or 3 games going on at once. I'm not.
You have all of these games, Jeff.
Yeah,
because these games are right up your alley.
Right up my alley.
I played Trombone Champ. It is a ton of fun. I laughed my tail off, but I believe that the other 4 games here probably offer a little bit more playability. I think Mario and Rabbids is gonna do well on this one.
Probably.
Fighting game of the year. You played a lot of these. Which one do you like?
I played 3 of the 5, surprisingly. I always liked Rumbleverse. I had some of the best times was Certified Doc and I Rumbleversing together, although it's being shut down, so I guess they're not going to vote it in. Multiverses. Don't tell Doc, but it's just a it's a good game. I played that, and you know what? I played Spider Hack. I actually like Spider Hack. That is my choice. I work with the developers, and I played the game at their request. I enjoyed Spider Hack.
You talked it up to me when we were chatting earlier, and I like that picture there. That picture has sold me on checking this game out. The little spiders with swords. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna check that out.
I did a first look review of it. So if you go back and you find you can find it on my channel. I did it, and it's. I think I played it. If I remember correct, I played it on the Switch. I'm trying to do a bit more Switch games just because I have a Switch and
no, you should. Switch is great.
Yeah. And I'm going to go. I'm going Gran Turismo here because friends don't let friends vote for EA Sports.
I will. I played Gran Turismo at 7. It's. It's an amazing game. It looks great. It plays great. I'm not sure that I like the home like menu area of how you have to move around. You've got to it's kind of slow, to be quite honest with you. But the game itself is gorgeous. I own it. I have not played F122, but I like racing games that I can slam into people. I don't want to not slam into people, so I don't know that I would enjoy that one as much. And then
we do that in American Trucker, which I think is not the game.
I want to try this game, man. You guys make it sound so fun.
We turn off different options.
Breaker. You hear me? Let's see. We got role playing game of the year.
It does have a CB in the game. We have to perfect that. So the only sound we're gonna get, other than of course when I'm streaming it, is just instead of having the Discord chat, we should just have the CB chat.
What's your call sign?
I don't have one.
You got to get a call sign. So you got to work on that.
You know what? That's a good point. We've never discussed that.
Yeah, you need to.
You know what?
Elden Ring will take this one, Jeff. The role-playing game
probably.
RPG of the year. Yeah,
probably. I would.
Sports game of the year. You've played MLB The Show a lot recently. You enjoy that one.
I have.
I think FIFA's always a good.
I played them all except the FIFA, obviously.
Yeah.
I'm liking MLB The Show. I'm actually considering buying, folks. 23. I'm actually thinking of buying 23.
Strategy simulation game of the year. A lot of good games in here. I know Warhammer 40,000 won a lot of people over when it was part of GFN,
Yep.
playable on GFN, and
Yep.
then with Game Pass. So that might be one.
Yep. A lot of people
Dwarf
have been playing
Fortress
Marvel
has a
Snowden.
lot of hype about that one. I haven't
Mm-hmm.
played that,
No, neither either.
so need
Yeah,
to
we'll
look at
have
that
to.
one some more.
Mm-hmm.
Immersive reality tech. Look at Among Us VR there. So if you get VR, we're gonna have to get you playing Among Us in VR. That'll be fun.
Yeah, don't know if I'll ever get VR. Don't know if I
I
even though I
don't.
have the big man cave. Not sure I have the VR room.
I haven't played
But
any of
I
these.
have multiple cameras. So if I was going to do VR, I would have multiple cameras so you can see me VRing at the same time doing the thing. I like that Shredder's
I think it'd be
Revenge. I
great.
like the original. I'm a retro guy, as everybody knows.
Yep.
I haven't played the others, but I have played that one. So
Yep. Here's
yeah.
Tunic again. Here's Vampire Survivors again,
Mhm.
and there's Immortality again. I'm telling you, man,
Yeah.
that game. There's something about it. It looks.
Doesn't look like my kind of game. I'm not as
It's
scary.
interesting.
Does
It
not
is
look like
interesting.
mine.
Mobile game of the year again. Immortality is there, but I think that Diablo Immortal is going to take this one. I know a lot of people are probably going to hate me on that because of Marvel Snap, but
Yeah, I think Snap is good. I think more people are playing Snap, but that's just in our world. I don't know what the rest of the world. So
online game of the year. I mean, it's hard to go against Call of Duty when you think about its popularity and how many people play it. But you know,
I'd love Rumble Versus to win. I loved Rumble
cool.
Versus. I had a great time playing it by myself and with Doc. It just fell out, and I just never got back to it.
So. This one here is the one that I want to. I want to see what happens here. Look at the games that are up on this award. Outstanding achievement in game design, right?
Yeah.
So you got Elden Ring and God of War, you know, huge big budget games, right? Then you've got this mobile game Marvel Snap. You've got this little game Tunic, and then you've got this game that you can play on console, phone, you know, whatever, Vampire Survivors.
You can play Snap everywhere too. Snap is just not a mobile game. You can play it.
So
you can play elsewhere.
Oh, that's right. You can. I apologize. So you know, that's a vast difference of types of games right there that are competing against each other. So I'm excited to see that one. I think the last we got like 3 more. Astounding achievement in game direction. Okay, and then game of the year. And look what is on there, Stray. So you need to go finish Stray and vote for Stray because
I played
Stray is my game of the year.
What's the one before Horizon Forbidden West? What was the one before that? I played that on the PlayStation Plus.
Just Horizon,
whatever it was, whatever the other one that's on there.
Horizon.
I played that one. Whatever that one was, I played that one.
I haven't played either. I mean, I played the God of War. You know, the most recent one. Yeah. And it's a great game. I just I don't know, man.
Purple's going Zero Dawn.
I don't know. Zero Dawn. There you go. Horizon Zero Dawn. Yeah, Stray was awesome, dude. I really enjoyed Stray. It's a quick game. You know, it's like 3.5 hours, 4 hours of gameplay. Beautiful, cool story. You know, just really neat game. So, all right. So the Dice Awards, that was a lot of stuff. But now we got a few more items. So Jeff, did you hear about? And I guess I should probably start off with this one. Might
actually, I should be asking you because both of these I put in our show notes. Did you hear about these?
Yeah. Well, I knew about the first one. I didn't know about the second one. So this one's a little controversial. Don't want to push anybody's buttons, but there was a young man down in Florida, 17-year-old. I'm not playing the video, but you know that teacher in the left video there that's blurred out. Story goes that she confiscated his Nintendo Switch. I guess it's in the jacket there, and she was going to take it to the principal's office. And he comes out of the classroom and basically just starts assaulting her. Right, he pushes her. She goes airborne, is laying on the floor. You can tell hurt, and he just is wailing. And you know, I don't want to get into his aggression or what he may have going on, but what I want to get into is there are about 8 adults in this video at some point that see this happening, and their response is disgusting to me. Like, you see this I don't care who it is. You see somebody beating and wailing on someone, and there's a I guess it's an ROTC teacher there. He's in uniform. Perp, I don't know if you've seen this video or not, but he comes walking around the corner of the wall there on the right side where you see the windows. You see that person in the back there. He comes walking around the corner. He's got a cup of coffee in his hand, and he just walks, at a pretty normal pace, puts the coffee down on the table, and then starts to like try to, I guess, put his hands on the student or separate them. But he's not really doing anything. Probably doesn't feel like he can or should or whatever. But there's a teacher that comes out of that room in the top right corner there in a red shirt and basically just plows into the kid. And then others come in and join in to try to hold him down and stuff. The video on the right shows the police handcuffing him, which, it's unfortunate. I worked security at a high school. I had to see this before. It's never easy watching a minor get put into cuffs or have to deal with the police, right? But this was a tough one, man. This wasn't easy to watch. So what did you think when you saw it? Because like you said, you brought it up to me.
I did. I don't know. We don't have that in Canada, so I have no perspective. We don't have security in high schools. We don't have. I guess my kid's high school had a police officer. But I don't even know why that was there. We're just a different world up here. I have no comment.
I hope the teacher's okay. I hope that the student can, get some
help,
get somebody to get through to him. And, that's a big boy, man. He could be using that size for a lot of good in the world, a lot of good. Yeah. I hate that they have to 17-year-old 6'6", 270 pounds. Like, come on. Okay. Just it doesn't matter what his size was. Like, he's a big kid, but like, come on, man. I don't know. I get a little sensitive about that stuff. All right. Good news story. This is all you story.
So you Americans probably know nothing about this. But that picture on the right, that is Lisa LaFemme. She is one of the biggest news anchors. She anchored the nightly news. You know how you've got your Tom Brokaws and she was that, right? Yeah. She's been doing it forever. And in the summer, she was on vacation and she got fired. Did she say something? Nope. Did she have a controversial topic? No, she was on vacation. Why was she fired? Because she got gray hair.
And so hold on a second, Jeff. How, she went on vacation with the gray hair, or she was on. She has gray hair. She's been on the air, and she was on vacation, and that's when she got fired. It's not that she didn't get a chance. They waited until she was out of the country.
Yeah, basically. Well, she was up north in Canada, but yes, she was at her cottage, and she was fired. Basically, the VP, the 30, 40 something year old didn't think a woman with gray hair should be on TV.
So that sounds awful. How is this good news?
There was a lot of backlash. The hamburger chain Wendy's.
Mm-hmm.
What color is Wendy's hair?
Bright red.
Yeah. So when this all happened, Wendy's of Canada changed her hair to be gray.
That's a political move or a statement move, not a political move, but
correct.
Statement
so why is this good news? So there are National Broadcasting Awards. The company she worked for didn't nominate her. So she nominated herself. And she is a finalist for Broadcaster of the Year. That's why it's a good story.
That's pretty cool.
And this all happened on the same day, the New York Times. That's why I gave you the New York Times article, not all the Canadian articles, because there was a crap ton of Canadian articles talking about it. But New York Times did a thing on her, did an article on her same day.
Wow.
So basically, just her giving the middle finger to her old company.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's good for her. I hope she wins the award. I think that would be awesome.
She was hired by one of the competitors to go anchor some of the Queen's funeral stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She was out doing some of that. So it's good. She's basically shoving it back to her employer because they didn't nominate her, and she nominated herself, and there she is winning, or not winning, but she's a finalist. Yeah.
Interesting. Well,
yeah.
There was one other thing that you had shared with me here, and that is This movie
Yes, I know
coming
we
out
don't get the
soon,
sound.
you're sized.
I know we don't get the sound, but yes, this is the story of the guy who saved pinball in New York. Purple probably knows about this. But yeah, I'm not going to get into a lot of detail, but he was a great pinball player, and they thought pinball was a game of chance. And and they took it out of places because they thought it was a game of chance, and he proved that it's a game of skill.
Yeah.
And I'm looking.
It was go to the roller skating rink. That's what we did. And, you took your girlfriend or you met other girls there. In my case, other girls went to meet other guys, but there was like an arcade that lined like the outside on one half. Right.
Yeah.
And if you got tired of skating, you went up into the arcade. And so there were a couple of games that you played, that were the cool games. And there was this one pinball game that used to have everybody around it. Right. And you think, I mean, this is the 80s. So pinball was still kind of decent technology, especially with the new digital ones that they were coming out with all the scores on the screen and, the visuals moving on the screen there and stuff. So super cool.
Yeah. I'm looking
super
forward
cool.
to
Oh, there it is. The story of Tetris there.
Yeah. That's on Apple. That's on Apple TV Plus.
Apple TV. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have Apple TV, so I guess
I don't know where
for that one to be bootlegged.
Yeah, I don't know where it's going to go in Canada. So.
Oh man! All right, Jeff.
This is
you ready?
Winding down the show.
So last week we did a top 5 list, right? And we said, top 5 list is cool, but we need to come up with kind of a catchy name, and we're not very creative, so we came up with 5 guesses. So here's the way it's going to work. Last week you asked me to name.
Purple's got a question for you.
Did you just say you went to meet girls other than your girlfriend? Maybe I went to meet girls with my girlfriend, Perp. I mean, you don't know. No, I'm saying like you would take your girlfriend, right? And they would do you would do the couples skate, and then they would do like the threesome skate. They didn't call it that, but that's what it was. It was 3 people at the time. You used to do the hokey pokey, like everybody would get out there and do the hokey pokey, and you had like the speed skate, the backwards skate. Like it was, man, roller skating rink was the place. Anyway, all right. So last week you wanted me to guess what the top 5 stadiums were in the world.
Yeah.
And right off the bat, I sucked, but I did get Roman Coliseum, which was the second one, right?
You did. Yeah.
And I got a few that were in like the top 10, but not the top 5. So when we were talking about this a little bit, we said, all right, I have a top 10 list, and you are going to take 5 guesses to guess what is on there. Okay.
All right.
And today the topic is the top lifetime grossing movies in the history of movies. So take 5 guesses at what you think the top grossing movies are of all time.
I will. I've always had a problem when they talk about movies and grossing, and grossing, because prices are more expensive now. So even if you only get half as many people, you're going to make just as much money as they did in the 70s, right?
Yep.
So that's my issue.
It's a new man's list, or a new movie's list, right?
Yeah. But I'm going to go Titanic.
Okay, that is number 4.
Ooh, wow.
Mm-hmm. So that's one guess. Don't look at the chat.
Okay. I'm gonna turn off. I'm gonna hide the. Okay, I'm gonna hide the chat.
Purple got a lot of them.
Oh, really?
No, don't be sorry. It's awesome. I'm glad you're watching and paying attention.
See, I want to say some of the older movies, but I know they're not gonna. They're gonna be. There's got to be a Spider-Man on there.
Yes, there is.
I'm gonna say a Spider-Man, but I don't know which one.
That's fine. Spider-Man: No Way Home, which came out in 2021. That's 7th.
That's my problem with that's my problem, is it's not prorated based on
It's not. It's really not. All right, that's two guesses. Come on.
I wanted. I don't think there's any Batman. There's probably. I'm not even up on new movies. Crap.
And that's why I picked it. You know what
Oh,
I'm gonna do is I was
probably Avatar. That James Cameron. That's probably not even there. That's
Avatar is number one.
what?
Avatar is number one.
The new one? The new one or the old one?
The old one. Okay, so the old one is number one. The first one.
Wow, I would not have guessed that. I was thinking the new one.
Look, 2,929 or $923,706,026. Released in 2009. Avatar is number one.
Wow.
Avatar: The Way of Water, the newest one, is number 3.
See, that's what I was thinking. I didn't think that first Avatar would be on the list. I was thinking the new Avatar.
Yeah,
so I'm thinking new movies, right?
You're doing great here, Jeff. So okay, you've gotten 3. So let's say that was 3 guesses. Okay, so you have Titanic, you have both of the Avatars, and you got a Spider-Man. So you get 2 more. You get to do 2 more.
I'd like to think there's a Star Wars on there, but I doubt it anymore.
Okay. Do you want to use that as a guess?
I do.
Okay, so you're right. Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens, 2015 is number 5.
Wow.
Okay. So there's one more in the top 5. Can you get it? You've gotten 4 of the top 5. Think, Jeff. Think. Huge.
It's probably so obvious too, and
it's a huge world, Jeff. It's a universe. And you play the game, and it's up for one of the games of the year awards for the DICE Awards. And Ray and SPG love this game, and it's a part of a universe.
Oh, one of the Marvel movies.
Yeah. Avengers Endgame is number 2. So of those top 5, you have a 2009, a 2019, a 22, a 1997, and a 2015. That, I think, truly shows you how amazing Titanic was as a movie.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, and now what I don't know is any of this any re-release, or is this just initial release numbers? That I don't know.
Are they counting video sales? Are they counting?
Jeff, you crushed that shit.
Wow.
You
kind of helped me on the last one. And
right.
I didn't actually think Titanic would make the list, but it was the first thing that came to mind was Titanic.
So
and I was thinking the new Avatar because I saw something that said, okay, let's open up the chat again. What is Avatar Titanic?
Your point, she crushed it. She got like 3 of the top 5. Purple, you're fine, by the way.
I didn't think.
You're amazing.
I did not think that first Avatar because again, the movie.
That movie was huge. Let me tell you this. So your point was spot on about the movies, right, and their popularity. So Titanic was number 4, 1997. Okay.
Yeah.
You have to go all the way down to number 32, which was 1993. That was Jurassic Park.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. And then after that, you have to go down to number 45, which was 1999. That was Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace with Jar Jar Binks. Okay. Mm-hmm. And then you have to go down to number 55 to find the next one before 2000, which was 1994. It's a Disney movie. Can you take a guess at what it is?
What year?
1994.
I want to say The Lion King.
It is The Lion King. And then after that, you got to go all the way down to 93 to find Independence Day.
Ooh, interesting.
So check this one out. Guess what number 100 is, Jeff? I'm going to give you one clue. Think 80s, okay? One guess at what number 100 is.
War Games.
No. But you're in the right time frame.
You said 80s. That was the first 80s movie. There's all those John Hughes movies. I love those John Hughes movies.
1982.
Ferris Bueller.
Nope. 1982. Steven Spielberg directed.
E.T.? E.T.?
E.T. E.T. is number 100. So
only
five movies in the top 100 that weren't made after the year 2000. That goes to your point. So
I know that's my problem when
Kudos.
they're on the news like, oh, the Spider-Man just broke the record for the but movies
Yep.
cost. When I went to a movie, it cost a quarter, and
Well, hey,
you know,
I used to love. We had a dollar movie theater by us. It was at the. I don't know if you've ever heard of George Mason University.
I have.
George Mason University is in Fairfax, Virginia, right up the street from where
I
I
couldn't tell
grew
you
up.
where it was, but
And
I've heard of them. They have a basketball program.
they do. They had Jim Larinaga used to coach them when they went to the dance, and then before he took over at Miami. But anyway, we'll get another day. University Mall, which sits right in front of the college, had a dollar movie theater, and that was the first place I ever saw Starship Troopers. And I proceeded to go back 7 more times and watch. I watched Starship Troopers 7 times for $7. It was the greatest thing ever. So,
But
Jeff,
this is it.
This was a loaded show, dude.
It is. We're setting the bar. I don't know how we're going to keep up these topics every bloody week.
We may have to cut back a little bit because some of the topic, we can chat about.
Too much cool stuff to talk about.
There's just too much going on in the world, right?
There is. So, and I find, just to give you a little background on how this works, we find shit during the week and we just fill the show notes, and then we get together and we figure, okay, what's going to make the show, what's not going to make the show, and we have a banger, to steal my friend Tim his three. We have a banger topic for next week already. I said I got a topic for next week, and he's like, already? Because we couldn't fit it in today's show, but we've got a banger of a topic for next week.
We may have to get Purple in here to talk some basketball with us one week if she's up for it. It's an early meeting, but she's a professional,
especially on a Saturday. It's not big ass to get up at 9 a.m. on a Saturday.
Yeah, because she was firing some good stuff off in the chat. I think that'd be a fun conversation. Jeff, what are you doing the rest of the weekend? What do you got going on?
Tomorrow, so I do a community volunteer thing in July for celebrating our nation's birthday on Canada Day, and we're doing a fundraising pool tournament. So I'm running that pool tournament tomorrow. Nice. Today is just I'm going to do some cleaning. I've got 22 loads of laundry to do. I've got laundry to do. I may play some Stray. My boy Crow Resin is not going to be around, so I don't think I have to drive a truck with him. So that's going to be sad.
I gotta look into
this. He's doing the Diablo today.
What is it called? Highway trucker or hookers or something?
Yeah, highway trucker. Yeah, yeah, that's what it's called. Exactly.
It's like Cruising USA of 22 with semi trucks.
So American Trucker Simulator.
American Trucker Simulator.
There's also Euro, which a bunch of the guys have bought. Fun fact, I didn't know this. In the Euro Simulator, you can buy the Ukrainian colors, and they donated another $100,000 for Ukrainian relief, based on all of the skins that people bought on the Euro. I have not bought Euro yet because I can barely drive a truck on the right lane. Stick me on the other
side of the road.
No, the left side of the road and the right side. I'm saying
you can barely do it on the right side of the road.
Yeah, I can't do it on the side I've been driving at for 30 years. Can you stick me on the other side of the cab on the wrong lane? I drive on the European side now half the time.
Oh my gosh. So maybe you'll be good at the Euro game,
Maybe I will. I'm driving with Callie. I'm like, Callie, we're not in England. You drive on the right side. Callie's driving on the left. And
so look, I'm going to need you to do 2 things for me. I'm going to need you, number 1, to get a snapback hat, okay? Because you need to have a trucker hat on if you're playing the trucking game. Can I
wear this? Can I wear my...
Oh, you got to get snapback so that you can get it to sit up high on your head like a trucker, right?
It's got Velcro.
Yeah, but it's a floppy hat, Like you got to get your trucker hat, okay? But more importantly, Jeff, you need a call sign.
Does it need to be camo?
It could be, maybe.
Does it have to be camo? Is that I don't.
You need a call sign, like whether it's Jeffy Jingles or something like that.
You know what? We don't have call signs. We don't.
Need a call sign.
That is, and there is a CB in the game, so I will discuss it. I will discuss it with the boys, and we will come up with maybe we'll let the chat help us decide on. I'm gonna be streaming it Monday night again. And then Wednesday night is going to be the final ever Creta stream because it's shutting down.
That's sad.
So it's going to
That's
be the
sad for
final ever Creta stream.
Well, I will do my best to join in. Actually,
but if anybody has American
what's the
Trucking Simulator, you are welcome to
I don't
convoy
know
up with
what
us.
day it is. It's going to be the first.
Not
I might
adequate.
be able to get there.
Not
Starting Friday, my schedule gets extremely difficult because now that my son is playing lacrosse and I do the announcements for my daughter's soccer team, so we've got 2 sets of games to go to every week. But we're getting out of here in just a minute. He's got playoff hockey today. So good luck to the Barn Burners as they look to take their number 1 seed in the league all the way to the finish line.
There you go.
We'll find out.
I have to now go and get my laptop that I dropped off at the repair place on January 4th.
Nice.
Today is February 25th.
Is that on the way to the event? Yeah, you're gonna make a little pit stop on the way.
Tomorrow, I want my laptop back. I've been waiting almost 8 weeks for this laptop, and there's been no communication. And I told Ray, and then Ray and SPG and some of the others in the Discord know that. And Ray looked up the company. He goes, Jeff, did you look at the reviews? They got a 1 star. These reviews suck, Jeff. Why did you bring your laptop there?
I'm surprised by that with you. You're you know
what? My brother's bought stuff there, and my brother and I went and bought a new laptop when this other one died, and I thought, all right, you know what? But I did not.
It's going to be pretty messed up when you come home with it and you open it up and find out it's not yours and it might be somebody else's laptop.
Probably. Anyway, chat everyone, Purple Haze and SPG and Ray and Adam Stone. Thanks everyone for being. We will be back next week at 9 a.m. 9 a.m. next week.
9 a.m. next week. Next Saturday. More coffee talk.
And we'll see you out there on the internet somewhere. We need a good send-off sign. It's only episode 3, folks. We're still
high five. This way. Oh, bah, bah. There you go. Something like that.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah, play the